previously on BALLZ.
Hey, joining us via Skype this afternoon, a man who's been very, very patient, Carl de Campos. Dashball, Carl.
Hi, Sasha. How are you doing?
I'm very, very well, although I do feel like a bit of a schmuck right now because I know that you are sight impaired.
Yes. I can't see you, but I believe we're on video Skype at the moment, and it's actually my first time I'm doing this live on radio, number one, and secondly, actually on Skype.
Well, I got to tell you look fantastic, and we can see everything. I feel like a complete durst because I typed you something, and then I realized, well, you can't see it. How stupid am I? Sorry about that.
I probably could read it if I go look for the instant messages, but I just booted up this machine because it's the only one with the video camera, so I'll probably be able to still read it afterwards.
All right. Well, I must say we got a great line with you. Whereabout are you at the moment, Carl?
I live 6 kilometers out of Magaliesburg on a farm, on a family farm. I'm very fortunate to live out here, and I actually work from home as well as a SQL database administrator in IT.
Wow.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, you got a lot of things on your plate, but it's quite amazing. I mean, it's a very inspiring story because even though you do have this this disability, you still manage to do just about everything that anybody else does as well.
That's right. My general outlook on life is take everything as a challenge, not an obstacle. And even if I'm not good at something, try it out. Why not? You can only learn out of it, and in the end, you can only die once if you go to that extreme. But the thing is to enjoy life because life is short. So I try a bit of everything. Not that I'm really outstanding in everything, but it's worth the try. Even things that aren't meant to be done by blind people, we give it a try.
Were you born blind, Carl?
Yes. The joke is I was born premature, so I always tell people, I was so eager to come out and see the world, and in the end I saw squat.
And are you, I mean, completely blind? You don't see anything?
Until 2004, I could see limited colors, limited movements, and basically large objects at close range. Due to retinal detachment, I've lost that in the left eye, and currently I can only see very bright light in the right eye, but not enough to perceive movements and shapes and that sort of thing.
All right. Now, besides your day-to-day job, what's quite amazing is your horse named Billy. Tell us about Billy.
Yes, horse riding. I've only sort of started horse riding later in my life.
Okay.
Approximately 2004, 2005, I started training interested in horses. That's after being scared of horses all my life. And I started riding other people's horses, but basically in arenas and in circles. And a lot of people said to me, no, blind people shouldn't be near horses because they're unpredictable and all that. And I started to realize that horses aren't so bad. And because of my endurance sport background, I did road running and tandem cycling and that, and I still enjoy it. I decided the best discipline in question would probably be something more in terms of long distance discipline. And that's where I sort of showed an interest in endurance riding. And to do endurance riding, I needed to get my own horse. So in 2008, I shopped around for a horse, and I got Billy, a very nice, dark brown / black gelding, and a gelding is basically a fixed-up stallion. And since then, we've just grown this amazing bond that a lot of people cannot really, they actually appreciate the bond we have.
Is it a warm blood or thoroughbred?
No, none of that. Is basically a mixture of a Boerperd cross Arab cross. I don't know what, I always say cross Labrador, cross Rottweiler, because he's got a temperament of a Labrador, but he also has the attitude of a Rottweiler. But he's basically a non-breed, nothing very expensive, nothing very highly bred, but heart of gold and the spirit, like you can't believe. He is very competitive within himself.
Carl, I want to take you back to something you just said. A lot of people find it very difficult to understand how it works. I'm sitting over here and I'm closing my eyes right now and I'm visualizing myself on a horse. I would be petrified. how do you communicate with this animal without crashing into trees or falling over and those things? Explain to us how this works.
It was scary in the beginning, I must tell you that. But because I started riding other horses in arenas, and I've been on the back of a tandem bicycle with some freaky pilots, as they call the sighted guides in front. And I've also been in fast cars with my brother being a car fanatic. I've been on the back of motorbikes. Yes, I'm not scared of speed, but I can understand, a horse is an animal, and a horse, especially a horse, can get a fright, and a horse can spook and run and jump and all sorts of things. But I also learned, you as a rider has a responsibility to be calm and to communicate with the horse and assure the horse that there's nothing wrong, nothing's going to eat us up. And I think just with me starting riding in arenas, and then once I got bored of riding in circles, I started venturing out on outrides with sighted groups. And I found often they would go slow and I would want to just go ahead of them, just to be independent. And I so built up my confidence, because the nice thing about a horse is they can see, and they can follow, most times they can follow the pathways. Mm-hmm. And if I feel by the footing we're going on, or the direction that I feel something changes, then I know we've left the path. And so I developed my skills in directing my horse along paths. And now with the latest technology, I can't find my cell phone now, I've put it somewhere, but I've got a normal cell phone which basically has GPS functionality built in. And I've learned to adapt that to my riding by landmarking various areas or various landmarks in my area. And this would tell me if I'm approaching the landmark, if I'm approaching it at 12 o'clock, which is straight ahead, or 11 o'clock, slightly to the left, slightly to the right, that sort of thing. And with a combination of GPS and a very keen sense of hearing, and also just being calm and not being nervous, I was able to sort of be confident enough in myself to take that horse out on outrides on my own. And I've developed now such a bond with Billy, who is not, by the way, not a very laid-back horse. He's very forward-going, as they would say in horse terms. I managed to ride him across busy roads. I go for long rides along the railway line where freight trains pass us and that sort of thing. Jesus. And I know, okay, the first few times when the train came, I would get off and hold him, because he never seen a train before, and the noise those diesel locomotives make is quite scary. So, yeah, you've got to be sensible about it as well. And for crossing a road, the first few times I'd get off him and I'll stand next to him until I hear there's no more cars. Then I'd jog across the road with him and get on the other side. It's just being sensible about it, but also not being nervous about it. That's basically how I approached it.
Well, I tell you, Carl, it's an unbelievable story, and we'll definitely follow your progress, and wish you all of the best, especially when it comes to the sort of competition element that you're going to be doing.
Sasha, yes, thank you so much. I have competed in quite a few endurance rides, but unfortunately I had to pull Billy out of endurance last year, basically because he was showing signs of fatigue, and he's very special, so I want him to last. If at some other opportunity I do find somebody offering me a lone horse to ride competitively, I would consider that. But I think Billy has brought his part, and he's now my social horse, and I ride him all over the place without having the pressure on us to actually use Billy to compete. But I'm still running marathons as well, so I'm still taking part in various events. But yes, unfortunately I had to pull Billy out of endurance last year.
Well, listen, we wish you well with whatever endeavors you continue with, and keep inspiring the people, Carl. It's a pleasure to speak to you on BALLZ Visual Radio.
Thanks, Sasha. Thanks, John and Simon and Kathy and everybody. It's so nice being on BALLZ Radio, and I do listen to you online, and it's been great. And send my regards to Darren as well.
Thank you, Carl.
We will do. Thank you very, very much.
Okay, cheers.
All the best.
There we go. What an inspiration, Carl de Campos. Right, Joe.
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Mondays to Fridays live on balls.co.za. balls.co.za.